welcome to the channel again. So far we have learned that what exceptions are and how to use try except to handle them. But what if our code can run into multiple types of errors? So there might be some situations where we can get multiple exceptions instead of only one exception, right? So in this video we will cover how to handle the different exceptions efficiently and prevent our program from crashing unexpectedly. Okay, so first of all, why we should handle multiple exceptions, right? So in real world applications we might get different error depending on our input or system state or maybe some external resources. So if we handle only one exceptions, right, that is not enough. For example, in one code you might get value error, like a user can input text instead of a number, or there might be division by zero error, or you are getting some exceptions while opening the file because file is not already there, right? Or you are trying to access a list out of the index, so that is like index error kind of thing. So this kind of situation may arise. So if we don't handle this multiple errors properly, so our program can crash, right? So let's see how we can catch and manage multiple exceptions. Okay, so the basic syntax for this is we will have our code that may cause an error within the try block, which we have seen in earlier videos also. Now under except we will have multiple exceptions. So exception type 1, then we have exception type 2, like that it will goes. So if we see like there might be two error might arise in the code, so we will have two except block, one for exception type 1, another is for exception type 2. Okay, so let's see an example. Okay, I think I have already shown this example, but I'll just copy paste here. Let's say we have a piece of code here. Okay, and here we might get two different types of error. One is division by zero error and one is value error. So division by zero error will happen when user input number as 0, and value error will occur when we enter a string instead of a number, right? So now if we run our program, okay, and if we insert the number as 0, so we will get this exception. So this is handled within this block, right? Next, if we run it again and if we input a string a, then we will get this error, and because of this exception handling we get value error basically, and it is handled within this block, right? So this is how multiple exception occur. Let's say there is one more piece of code which will try to read a file basically. Okay, so let's say we have some data.txt file, okay, and we are trying to read it. Okay, so in Python we read the file like this as file, and then we are trying to print the content basically. So file dot read. Okay, now what will happen if we enter a proper number? Okay, still we are getting an error like file not found error. So we are getting our program crashed because we are not handling this error. Okay, so we need to handle this error also here. So we can just write here file not found error kind of. So we can just put some message not present. Now if we run, so currently we are getting this error because we have inserted a as a number. If we run it again, if we enter 1, now we are getting this error, file is not present, but still this print is getting printed, this success. Earlier if we are not handling this and if we run our program again and if we enter number, see our program crashed because we are now not getting this print message. So we should handle all the exceptions whatever we can get in our program, right? Okay, now sometimes what we can do is, instead of, if you want a proper whatever message it's we are getting in here, right, the exact message, so we can print this, we can write except exception name as E, and here we can print our message basically like this. So if now if we run this program, so this is the exact message which is coming from this exception as E, right? So same we can do it here also. So we can write something like this, FE, if we enter. So now, okay, let me enter some string instead of a number. Now this is the exact message, exact exception which we are getting out of this one, out of this piece of code. Okay, so basically when we write something except exception as some variable, so it helps us to catch the unexpected error and prevent the crash, and also it helps debug by displaying the actual error message. Okay, so we can use this also. Okay, so uh, I think this is all about this multiple exceptions. One more thing, instead of printing the message here, okay, we should log it somewhere using some maybe logging framework and all. So because printing is not a good practice while logging anything, right? So instead of just print it, we should use some logging framework is there. So in Python, if I show you a simple example, we already have this logging framework. Okay, so we can write, we need to initialize it, logging dot, let's say, base config, basic config. Okay, and then we can write our file name, which file we want to save it. Let's say error1 dot log. Okay, and there are different kinds of logging error level basically. So we are using at logging dot, there are error, there are info. Okay, there are debug. Let's say we have put error because we are handling the exception. Now if we write the same piece of code here, okay, so instead of print, now we need to use logging dot error. Okay, everywhere we can put this. Okay, now if we run our program, let's say input A, then this file will created with the name of error1 dot logging. Okay, if you see here, this file is created and the all the exception is getting printed out here. Let me run the program again and put 0 as input. Now the error will be this one, right? So let's go here. So we are getting intervalid number cannot be 0. So in production use case, we should not use print, we should use some kind of logging framework to log our message. Okay, so in this video we learned about how to handle multiple exceptions that can occur in a single block of code, and we can use multiple except block to handle the exceptions, and logging error is a better than just printing it out. Okay, so in the next video we will try to explore how we can use else and finally, which are two important tools that help us control code execution. Okay, even when exception occur in the, so we will learn about this in the next video. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any further question, please put in the comment box. Thank you.